Yo, 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 what's up? It's Monday. I know you don't want to believe it, but yeah, it's Monday. Here we go. There's a lot of different action going on when it came to sports this weekend, but you're listening to your boy on KT on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal Unfiltered, your home for the NFL, where you can get all the playoff action, which was popping here over the weekend, like I said earlier. And you'll be able to catch Super Bowl 60, which is on the road to Santa Clara, California, where you can go check out the Super Bowl. I got my girl, Kaylina, here. What's going on, girl?
Nothing much.
How you doing? Doing all right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still recovering from Conformity Gate not being real. But, I mean, I knew it wasn't real. Like, I knew awesome. What's unfair is that people on the internet committed so hard that they gave me false hope, you know? And all of us in the comments were like, don't give us hope. That's so cruel. And then it worked anyway. They were so convincing. I'm still recovering.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you're cool from Stranger Things, but we'll get into that in a second. I actually watched kind of an episode, you guys.
What?
But I got Jonah, my other producer, actually sitting in studio with me. What's up, Jonah? What's going on, man?
Nothing much. New week.
How was your weekend?
Great. It was actually pretty good.
Anything new besides the gym, bro?
No. I told our boss BV this, is that the two things that are keeping me sane in this life is gym and working.
That's very interesting.
The two things.
But anyway, is Zach? We got Zach on? Zach, what's up, man?
Of course you have me on, man. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm good, bro. Everybody missed you last week. Just to throw it out there, people were asking where you were. I said it was personal reasons, but you're here now. My thoughts and prayers are out to your family. But outside of that, man, what else has been going on, bud?
It's been a whirlwind, man. Just getting back into the groove back at work now that my pop is home and doing good. So other than that, great football this weekend. Our Lobos, happy guy.
Go ahead. Our Lobos what, bud?
I said our Lobos are winning. I'm a very happy guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was expecting more. Obviously, our Lobos are winning. It's one of those things, man. And what else is going on up in Santa Fe? Was it snow? It snowed down here a little bit. It's snowing up there? What's going on up there?
It snowed a little bit, man. Just enough to be annoying, but not a lot.
Man, I'm happy to hear you did drop that nugget that your dad was having some issues. And once again, heart goes out to your family and everything that's going on. It's an unfortunate situation, but he's still with us and very, very grateful for that. I know you and your uncle are very blessed and the other family members, man. Is there anything else going on? Hey, Zach, I started kicking off the segment. We just kind of just kick it and like see what's going on. And then, like, if there's anything new, is there obviously what's going on up there with sports-wise up in Santa Fe?
Well, my St. Mike's Horsemen are playing some really good basketball all of a sudden. They won their tournament over the weekend, swept everybody. So, I'm happy to see that. They're getting ready for the second season. District play starts here pretty soon. Hoping to see them in the state tournament. We had the big APS Metro tournament going on last weekend. There was some great games, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah, there was. Go ahead, Jonah.
I think our other co-host, Ed Nunez, was saying that the women's basketball is really good right now. So, but yeah, I think the two top teams are still Volcano. I think Volcano's still like on the men's side top team. They've won 6 state championships.
Yo, Zach, wasn't the Bulldogs, the ladies playing Hobbs this past weekend? Or I think somebody called into the show from the standpoint it was like 20-29 at one point. Is that true? I know you know everything.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see what the final score was, but I was, my weekends, I spend way too much time on Max Preps. I try to follow everybody. We talk about Volcano, we talk about Sandia. I really wanted it to be Sandia's year. There was a young man named Gad Harris, man. He, in my opinion, he's one of the best guards in the state. And then, he got hurt during the football season and he hasn't been able to play. Hopefully he gets back in February. Sandia is going to be dangerous when Gad Harris comes back.
Wow. Okay. I got to go check. Hey, maybe we can go check them out this year and see what happens. Because how much longer they got? They got a while, don't they?
I think they do.
Month and a half.
Yeah.
We got the state tournament early March.
Okay. Are you? I know we're gonna go to a commercial here real quick, but I'm gonna start something obviously new. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is actually coming up this coming Monday, and I'm gonna start reading something. It's gonna be something once a day, and this is my first one for the day. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Question mark. Dr. Martin Luther King reminds us that impact isn't measured by title or success, but by service. More than a dream means showing up for others, even when it's uncomfortable. Zach, I'm going to be reading something every day leading up until Monday, and then after Monday. I just feel like this is one of those times to where everybody might have different opinions right now, but this is why it's unfiltered, and I'm able to do this. And if you don't agree, that sucks for you. But this man paved the way to a lot of different opportunities, especially when it comes to minorities and especially my people. But I wanted to acknowledge that. But, Zach, how do you feel about that comment, man? Because there's so many things that we don't want to do, and we still have to show up even though we feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I absolutely love it, and then being able to represent the Ford minority dealers over the last 4 years, and then as well as the national minority dealers, I totally get it, man. Some of the situations that these guys are in, I mean, obviously can't go into detail, but being able to support them on a level that they wouldn't have the support before means everything. And it does get frustrating when you see that, some guy who's trying to make it for the very first time gets overlooked and it's given to somebody else. I mean, it's just not fair, whether it's Asian, African American, Hispanics, or natives. We're working with all of them. It frustrates me when I see that they don't get the same tools that some of these other people get.
Totally agree. Kaylina, you got anything you want to add? It has nothing to do with sports.
I mean, that was a fantastic quote, because it is harder to show up when, right, kind of like the difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice is that has no cost to you, but being kind is like, no, I actually do have a cost. There's energy I'm putting in, and I think it's the same thing. So it's really important, especially around this time of the year.
I totally agree. Yeah. What's up, Jonah?
Yeah, it's MLK has another quote. I think it was, love is the only way to make an enemy a friend. So I feel like no matter who the person is, what beliefs you guys don't agree on, you could come together and see eye to eye, agree to disagree to most of the stuff. And I feel like that's something everyone needs to start doing, instead of trying to put hate into this world and just starting to put love.
Oh, yeah, buddy. That's my series that I'm going to drop, and it's called More Than a Dream. And I'm going to kick something off every day leading up to Martin Luther King Day. And there will be something on Tuesday next week right after. We'll be right back, Zach. Hold on, man. We're going to jump into some Lobo action as far as our men's team, because we got them coming up, playing Grand Canyon tomorrow in the pit. You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy KT on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with KT on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for the NFL. Just kicking it with both of my producers today, Kaylina and Jonah. See, I'm
so spoiled.
I was just about to use the exact same word.
I was like, me first.
I am beyond spoiled. If I can't hold down this show now with the both of you guys, and then the legend that knows everything when it comes to sports, my guy, Zach. Zach, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, man, with everything that's going on with the Lobos right now, obviously they're playing some pretty good ball. But it's one of those things to where they were supposed to beat Air Force. I didn't think it was going to be 40-plus points. But it's one of those games to where I felt like they had to go out and make a statement. Playing at Colorado State the game before that, Colorado State's a team that was shooting a high percentage when it comes to field goal perimeter shots from behind the three, like 42%, fifth in the country, and a slow-paced type team. But obviously our Lobos are getting up and down. What have you seen as far as how the Lobos have developed and what they've come to when it comes to developing as the team that they should be, especially going into Mountain West Conference play, bro?
Man, I just love the way our team is gelling. This is what I was talking about early in the beginning of the season. Eventually we were going to get to this spot, and we got to it a little bit quicker than I thought. The big thing is winning the second season, right? So it's going to be how we perform on the road and picking up. I know it's Air Force, but every road win counts, right? We're undefeated at the pit.
Yeah.
We got to if we want to win this conference, we got to win on the road, And so the question I have for you, Kenny, is why did it take so long for Utah State to get ranked finally?
Well, Oh, okay. So they just cracked the top 25. I haven't even looked at that today.
Yeah, you got them at 23 in one poll and 24 in the other.
See, now we were talking about earlier in the year if the Mountain West Conference can produce a couple teams to get into the NCAA tournament. Not only do we have one now, you got to think about it from the standpoint of like, is there like it got to be like at least 3 to 4 deep, 3 minimum of how many teams that can actually get in the conference when you include San Diego State in that on top of UNM. And if you agree with me or disagree, you can call or text your boy 505-246-0610. But what do you think about that, Zach, when it comes to how many teams that can actually get in the Mountain West Conference?
You know, I haven't looked at the Ken Palm today, but when you take a look at their schedule, now I understand why they took so long to hit the top 25. They got a loss to South Florida, but it's not a very meaty schedule. It doesn't look like they've really played anybody. I guess we'll see on Wednesday night when they play Nevada how good they really are.
As of yesterday, with the NCAA rankings right here, as of June 11th, I have Utah State at 20. No, they're at 13 right now.
Dang.
And I have
we'll get a 2 league if somebody else wins the championship.
Exactly. And I have the Lobos right now at 41.
Oh, we are going in the right direction, man. Every time the Aggies lose, though, it hurts us more and more. That's all they seem to be doing lately.
You would say something like that. But with the Lobos right now 13-3, 4-1 in the Mountain West Conference, you got Jake Hall, man. He had 24 points and he had 7 boards. Javius Miller had 16 points. Obviously, he's the guy that's coming off the bench. The Lobos' depth is pretty deep when you think about it. They're going at least 8 to 10 deep. I wouldn't say 10, but they're getting pretty close. It's amazing to me how the bench has actually came in and been very productive, especially when you have a guy in Albury. I'm not going to say he struggled, but he has struggled a little bit. How do you feel about Albury and the bench when it comes to being productive?
You know, that's when we're winning games, when the bench comes in and gives us quality minutes and quality points, quality rebounds and assists and plays defense. That's why we're beating these teams as bad as we are. When we have a tough bench day, we're in trouble.
You know, it's so crazy right now. I saw in the paper, Jeff Grammer, our guy, obviously, Zach, your boy was in the top 20, I was leading it with 4 20-point-plus games before Jake Hall just broke my record with 24 points, and he's the 5th to ever be a true freshman, 18-year-old true freshman that actually broke my record rather than having an asterisk by it. How do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about that, bud? Crazy, well, right?
It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, although you're still my all-time favorite Lobo. I don't care what the record says. But, I mean, it's good. Records are meant to be broken. You know, unless you're my dad, who has most punts in a game still at New Mexico State. Not sure that'll be broken. But, you know, who knows?
So, Jake Hall if you didn't know this, Jake Hall just got his first freshman Mountain West Conference Player of the Week, which I feel like he probably should have got it a while ago. But Zach, I feel like this Lobo squad is starting to identify themselves when it comes to paint play, right? You got Bouillon that's averaging a double-double. You got TJ Rock that's actually playing at a pretty good level right now, especially what he did against Colorado State, coming in for Bouillon when he was in foul trouble. How do you feel? I just feel like these Lobos are going to have to play big when it comes to this game tomorrow against Grand Canyon, because Grand Canyon is stacked. They got some guards that are like 6'5", and they got some bigs that they got a big dude that's 7 feet and some guys that can play inside. How do you feel about this game coming up against Grand Canyon? Because Bryce Drew, who I played against and with in Houston, he's a very, very smart player. Coach.
Of course he is. I mean, look at the pedigree. You know, his dad coached Valparaiso for how long? You know, so the key is going to be the physicality tomorrow night. I'm actually going to go to the game, but you know, if we can be more physical than they are, the height isn't going to matter. It just depends on how we show up, man. If we play soft, it's going to be a long night.
So, Joni, you got something about Air Force? How the Lobos just destroyed them?
Do you think a big possibility is the reason why we destroy them is because we didn't leave the state of Colorado. I feel like that's a big, because we know, and I feel like, Kenny, you know too, traveling could take a real big toll on you. So if you stay in the same state, they're like, 2 hours apart? So it's not that big of a drive. And you stay with your team for the past 4 days, just hanging out. I'm pretty sure they did an escape room. I think I saw them do an escape room.
That's cool.
But yeah, I think that's a big possibility. And now that they're finding their identity, it's really showing now.
I think that's that team bonding, right? To where nowadays, back in the day, I had tutors, but I feel like these kids have way more resources to help them to be able to advance, especially when they're not in the classroom, right? Zach, how do you feel about that with them being in Colorado for a couple of days and then playing Air Force on Saturday? I think that's great for them to be able to create that camaraderie, right, and hang out a little bit.
Oh, definitely, right? And then, like you said, bonding, chemistry has been so important to any basketball team. And when you get that, it's hard to beat. I don't care who you are. So the fact that they were able to do that, and then it also helps that our elevation is almost the same. So it's almost like playing a home game in Colorado where, our Chile is better in New Mexico, yet they think it's better. And clearly they think their basketball is better, and it's not.
Well, we got our women's squad that's sitting right now at 22-5 and 4-2 in the Mountain West Conference after the weekend. Next road test is at San Diego State, June 14th. I feel like our women's team is playing some pretty good ball right now. They won 2 straight in a row at home, and then they dropped the last one, which is an unfortunate situation. So I had Coach Mike Alberry on the show a couple weeks ago, so it's interesting to hear how things are advancing over there, but we need to give our Lady Lobos a little bit more support from that perspective. Zach, what do you? I'm not knowing you. You probably have checked out our women's squad, but when it comes to women's sports, man, how do you feel about that?
Albuquerque is funny because if you go back to the Don Flanagan days, man, we packed the pit, right? There would be times where we would have just as many watching women's basketball as men's basketball. We just got to figure out how to do that again. And how do we make the pit the pit? But we have a really good squad, man. They're going to compete this year, and getting to talk to Coach Bradbury and learning who the top teams are and beating Wyoming. I mean, we've got the momentum. It's just 5-on-5, man. It's anybody's day. If we shoot lights out, we're going to win basketball games. If we struggle from the floor, we're going to lose basketball games. It's that simple.
What you got?
Oh yeah, I agree with Zach 100%. We need to pack out the pit for our women's game because they're doing really good. When I produced one of their games, and JJ, the announcer, during Colorado State, that was the most excited I've ever heard him for a women's game. It was pretty cool to witness. So I feel like more people in Albuquerque should go out and support our women's basketball team because they're doing really good right now.
Yes, they are. And our Lobos are playing Grand Canyon tomorrow, and the word on the streets is that it's cherry night. So you got to wear your red. And I'm telling you guys, and I've been saying this, I said it Saturday after the game on KKOB when I did the Lobos Live, that if this community comes out, Zach, and I think you can contest to this, if this community comes out tomorrow, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if this Lobo team does not show up and play the type of basketball that they're supposed to play with 12,000 people in that stands, it's going to be a different type of situation for Lobo basketball, right, Zach?
100%, yeah. I agree with you.
Because it's going to be an unfortunate situation, and I'm not predicting that, but I'm telling you guys right now, do not sleep on Grand Canyon. They're a pretty good team, and they're long, and I think this is going to be another test that the Lobos had, just like down at New Mexico State going up against another long team. It's going to be a little bit of a test, but I think they can weather the storm. We'll be right back.
You're right. That's a great analogy, Kenny.
Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead. No, we still got
that's a great comparison. Both of those two teams, and then those two teams battled forever when they were in the WAC. So you're spot on.
I can't believe I was spot on like you, bro. Hey, and the fact that you acknowledged it. Hey, my guy. We're gonna take this quick break. We got another 30 minutes, 2 more segments with my guy Zach from Capitol Ford Santa Fe. You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy KT on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy KT on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Your home for the NFL, where you can catch exclusive playoff action and you can get Super Bowl 60 content here as well on the road to Santa Clara in California, which is brought to you by Hyenas Comedy Nightclub, which is now open in Albuquerque. Get your tickets before they sell out. We're conveniently located in Winrock Town Center. Visit hyenascomedynightclub.com/Albuquerque for more information. Yo, Zach, my guy, were you able to check out some of these NFL games this weekend, especially starting on Saturday? Rams, Panthers, or Bears, Packers?
Man, I watched all of it. What great playoff football we finally had, man. When was the last time we had this many really good games?
Man, it was unbelievable because from start to finish, there was some great action. Obviously, to start with the Packers, 1-1 each team won at home, and it was an unfortunate situation in Soldier Field. The Packers led the whole game. The whole half, 21-3 in the first half, and then next thing you know, Green Bay could not score. Came up short too late. Jordan Love played an unbelievable game, 300-plus yards, 3 to 4 touchdowns, just could not get it done. I was actually going for the Packers. I'm just happy that they're not looking at getting rid of LaFleur. I thought that would have been the dumbest thing ever. I just felt like the Packers got robbed there to a certain extent. But, man, that Packers squad next year is going to be unbelievable. What do you think about that Packers game?
Oh, man, what a game. I'll tell you what, that was so much fun to watch. And then, you can't really fault LaFleur. It's a rivalry game. You know how hard it is to try to beat somebody twice, let alone 3 times in a season. So, of course, you're going to get a battle like that, man. They know each other through and through. So the fact that they put up like they did and played as hard as they did was good enough for me. I know that Felicia's not happy, but that's all right. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm not happy either.
See, the thing about it is I'm not sold on the Bears, man. Caleb Williams is obviously having an unbelievable year. I got to give him his flowers because this year he's playing some lights-out ball. And the way that the Packers limited Swift in the backfield, I was just happy he wasn't able to have the type of game that he had. DJ Moore on the receiving side for the Bears, he got limited, but man, it's one of those things that the third year straight in a row that the Packers haven't been eliminated in the first round. I was sickening a little bit, especially since I've been to Lambeau a couple times over the last couple years. But Jonah, what you got?
Yeah, one thing that I'm thinking of coming into this game against the Rams and the Bears is that the windshield's going to be -0, or not. It's going to be 0 for windshield, and so
aren't they playing in LA because that's
they're playing. The Bears are the number 2 seed, so they get home field advantage. And the Rams are a wild card team because if you remember, Seahawks won our division.
Yeah,
so they're the wild. So they have to go to Chicago, and we saw. I think it was the Chiefs against Miami like 2 years ago in the playoffs, where it was snowing in Kansas City. So it's going to be hard for the Rams to come in because they're just used to being in a dome. Their practice facility is mostly warm. So it's just going to be hard with that weather.
What you think about that, Zach?
It's tough, man, because if you listen to the game, was it the game yesterday that they were talking about, the 33-yard chip shot in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
When it gets to be cold like that, man, it makes it even difficult to kick field goals. So, yeah, it's, when you have 2 cold teams playing each other, it's a little bit different. But, if the Bears are going to win, it's because they're used to playing in the cold. Like, for Dallas to go to Chicago, that would be a horrible game.
See, but the Rams and Matthew Stafford didn't play the type of football that they were expected to play in that game against the Panthers. The Panthers had a shot in that game, but obviously the Rams came up on top. But I didn't expect that game to be that close, especially when you have Tyron Williams that's been playing some unbelievable ball, and I felt like he was a little bit limited. But when you have Bryce Young that came out and went 264 yards and 1 TD with the Russian TD as well, come on, man. Nobody expected that.
Come on, I watched them destroy my Cowboys this year. I know they're stinky good, so I knew they were going to play good. Because you know exactly what McVay was going to do, overlook them. And when you overlook someone, look at what happens. Yep. I guarantee you they were thinking who they were going to play next week.
100%. Because I feel bad for Bryce Young right now. He's in a great situation, but if I saw the last plays where they could have drove down the field and got a field goal, his line gave up. on like his line just basically.
Man, we
gave
can say
up
that,
on
Zach. We can say the same thing about the Packers, right? When you think about it, do the Packers have the offensive line that they need with the protection for Jordan Love? Because if you think about it, everybody's blaming Jordan Love right now. You can't have 300. You can't go 330 some yards and have 3 TDs and
Four TDs.
Four TDs, and then have the load to be that guy to where you have to you have to produce. See, the thing about it is with me, some of those Packers wide receivers were dropping balls at the wrong time, and it was an unfortunate situation. It wasn't Jordan Love. What do you think, Zach?
No, you're absolutely right. And then let's be real, right? You've got Dobbs on there, who's a good receiver, but he's probably not a true number one. You've got Watson on there, who is probably not a true number one. So he really doesn't have a number one receiver to throw to. So you're going to see those drop balls. I mean, you watched Dallas all season with me. We did the same thing.
We got Jonah's mom just dropped up in here. She's been with the station for 17 years. What's up? She's a Packers fan. See, ears ringing. You know she's mad. What you got?
I'm crazy. I just think, Matthew Golden did a great job for us that day. Our run game wasn't that great. Josh Jacobs couldn't get out anywhere. I just think I think Jordan Love did a great job. I think his offensive line gives him time. I don't know how much more time he needs. He threw 4 touchdowns. He was able to get out a few times, and it's very disappointing.
Yeah, yes, it was.
And then Kenny, the Bears played right into their hand because if you watch the first drive, why they abandoned that? It was an 8-minute first drive, and they're running the football, and then they just stopped.
Yes.
So what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. See, and then when they started putting Josh Jacobs in the return punts and everything, they were starting to do too much because
reaching.
I felt like they were not getting him involved like they should. Remember Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield and catching like 5-10 yard passes and making something happen? They did not do that, and they went away from what they've been doing before they went on this little streak of losing games over the last like 3 to 4 games. It's my perspective.
Yeah, I feel like they just start panicking. They start throwing the ball 30 yards downfield. It's like, you guys, just get these first downs. Make it easy. Like that's what you were doing in the beginning. You had an 8-minute drive, first down. They couldn't they went out 4 times. They punted 4 times the second half. Back to back.
We got some wild card action talk conversation going. If you want to call or text your boy 505-246-0610. Yo, Zach, come on, man. Buffalo and the Jaguars. I hate the Jaguars. They're in the same conference as my Texans, who's about to get down with some yellow and black and like, ugh. Can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight with Monday Night Football. But everybody talks about Josh Allen. I'm a Josh Allen fan. 6'6", 6'7". He's a bully. He's a beast. And it's amazing how he always finds a way to get it done at the right time. He has solid receivers. He has a solid running back in Cook. And they're playing at a high level. I got something for you, Zach. Is this really true? With Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson out. And who's the other third big-time quarterback that's out that's compared to Josh Allen? Whoever it is. If you're listening, you can text me. But do you really believe that this is the year for Josh Allen? I don't think it is. I really do think the Bills are playing at a high level. I just don't think it's right now. What do you guys at?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I like Josh. The stuff is there. The team is there. With Gabe Davis hurting himself and is now out, that's going to put a lot more on his shoulders. I mean, they're going to have a few guys step up if they want to win some games. I just don't think it's their time, man. We'll have to see. And my wild card is I think New England might get there.
New England? That's fair.
That's fair. I have a really cool stat that I have. So during the preseason polls for Super Bowl odds, everyone except the Bills are still in the playoffs because Eagles lost, Baltimore didn't even make it, Kansas City didn't make it, Lions didn't make it, Green Bay lost, and then Washington didn't even make it.
Wow, what you got about that? What you got on that, Zach, if anything?
Man, it's injuries play a huge part of that, right? And then just because they were good last year doesn't mean the schemes are going to be as good this year, right? And then, of course, Washington was good last year under Dan Quinn under the first year. But now you got a year of film, man, and look at how they played. And then you had Daniels out most of the year, and then Mariota goes down. I mean, it just was a dumpster fire for the Commanders this year.
All right, cool. Zach, we got one more segment when we get back, bro.
When we get back, Kenny, we got to give away some stuff, man.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. See, this is what happens when we get all like entrenched in everything. And if you're listening and you came up here last week, I apologize because we had some issues from that perspective. We will be right back. We're giving away some oil changes and some tire rotations in this last segment. But if you don't get a chance to call in, you can call in the rest of the week. We'll be back. You're listening to Unfiltered with your boy, and I got my guy Zach with Capital Ford on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. But you're listening to Unfiltered with your boy KT on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. And if you missed the episode, you can go to YouTube, search Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. You can go to all the podcast platforms, search Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, and you can check out some of the short clips with some of my ex-teammates from the NBA, and I got more celebrities coming on. You can go to my social media, Kenny Thomas NBA. Yo, Zach, man, I got one more game I want to talk about, and it's them Birds, it's them Eagles, and the 49ers. I didn't think the Niners could win, but I felt like this could be one of those games that could have been one of the biggest upsets out of all the games, and I think it was one of those, especially be able to knock out the defending champs, and the unfortunate situation on how A.J. Brown was just very, very frustrated. How does he not catch those balls? He dropped like 3 or 4 balls at key times. What's your thoughts on that game, man? And go Niners.
Oh, man. As a Cowboy fan, I am so happy that the Eagles lost, which is a really crummy thing to say.
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't want the Eagles winning, man. I want the Cowboys to win, not the Eagles. They're from the same division.
That shows you how much I know about divisions, man. You got to bear with me, Zach. You can't be aggressive.
Oh, yeah. So it's Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants and the Commanders, man. So
got you.
For them to be out is a good thing. The bad thing for the Niners is, did they finally announce whether or not George Kittle tore his Achilles?
Oh, yeah, I saw the picture.
It's torn.
He posted something on Instagram, man. And you could see it's like a big water thing in his ankle. It looked bad.
If you can't tell, Zach, Jonah's a 49er fan.
Yeah, I'm a 49er fan.
Oh, that's a bummer. Well, and then for me, the way that Sirianni had to get on A.J. Brown before the half,
wow,
that was
like playing, right?
It was crazy because I watched that live, and I think what Sirianni said is that he just wanted them to go to halftime, and A.J. Brown didn't want to, and he wanted to get on the field, and I don't know. That did not look like a right situation, and I think they're going to try to shop A.J. Brown out.
I don't think they have a choice. I mean, there's been too many bad things that have happened recently. They got to move on.
Oh yeah.
And they got Devonta Smith, who I think can develop into a number 1 receiver.
Oh
so
yeah.
Just provides support there for him.
I totally agree. And then that'll open up the backfield for Saquon Barkley, because I felt like down the stretch in the season he wasn't getting the attention that he should because of the whole A.J. Brown situation. So
exactly, right? It's almost like they forgot what got him to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, and I feel like, hey, it's a quick question, Zach. Do you feel like the Niners can go deep into the playoffs with Brock Purdy playing decent football, but obviously Christian McCaffrey with 2 TDs last night, he's going to have to be the spearhead of that squad, right, on the offensive side?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they've got really good wide receivers, and losing Kittle's going to hurt. But do I think it would impede them from making a run? Absolutely not. The tough part for them is again, they're going to probably have to play somebody if they win from their division again, right? So no matter what, they're playing a Rams team or they're playing a Seattle team, and that's tough, man, because that's when football it's really tough, man, because each team knows the other very, very well, right? So that those games can go pretty much any direction, in my opinion.
Yo, if you're listening the rest of the week, my guy Zach, who's on, he's the owner of Capital Ford Santa Fe. He gives away oil changes and tire rotations after every men and women's basketball game, to where you can check out the show. I will be giving those out later in the week if you want to stay tuned and check in on those. I got a text here, Zach. Somebody texted me, says Steelers by 1. Obviously, we got my Texans playing the Steelers tonight. Texans are 54% favored, minus 3.5 favored. Total 39, the over-under 39 to 40 points. It's going to be a very interesting game with my Texans playing on the road. Number 1 defense in the league. C.J. Strauss, I got the jersey on right now. He's going to have to show up and show out because I haven't worn his jersey in the last few weeks because he hasn't been that dude. But Zach, who you got? I got my Texans and winning by 7.
So I'll just tell you this right now. There's not enough Kool-Aid or a better tasting Kool-Aid that I could jump on that bandwagon. I think that it's the Texans by at least 7.
Even with TJ Watt in the situation, I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has been playing pretty good. But if CJ Strauss can get off to a nice little start, especially with Woody Marks in the backfield, and we got Jordan in the backfield, 2 rookie running backs that's running downhill at a very high level, it's going to be very interesting if Aaron Rodgers can actually hold up. But I'm telling you guys right now, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get off that ball within a couple seconds, it's going to be very interesting because he might get chopped up into a grinder, just to put that out there. What do you feel about that, Zach?
So my thing is, if you guys show up the way I think you're going to show up, I mean, you're one of the hottest football teams in the NFL right now. If you put points on the board and they have to rely on Rodgers' arm, they're going to get destroyed.
Oh, they're going.
If they can control the game and they run the football, then it's going to be a different game. But if you guys get out and you put some points up, I'm sorry, but Aaron's too old and he doesn't have the arm anymore to keep up.
Yeah, I think if Rodgers is going to have no time at all with the pass rush you guys have. You guys have 2 All-Pros now?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you guys have 2 All-Pros.
Stingley Jr. and Lassiter.
Yeah, and then, of course, Will Anderson Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He's an All-Pro. But I have a question for both of you guys. TJ or JJ Watt, who do you think he's going for? Does he want his brother to win, or does he want his former Texans to win?
What you got, Zach?
Okay, let's be real. If we just go right back to the Kelce's, right? It's the same thing. I'm for you, Trav, until you play the Eagles. So I say JJ is a Texan all the way.
I could.
Oh, yeah, he better be Texans all the way because history's about to be made because the Texans have not won a playoff game in history of the franchise before they were the Texans. The Tennessee Oilers when Houston Oilers. There we go. Zach, you got anything else, bud? Before I let you go, man, other than being amazing.
No, biggest thing is just glad to be back with you guys. I missed this last week, and I just love being on here with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Zach, maybe if you have some time tomorrow, we can get you on tomorrow, bro, for the 2 hours. And then I think next week we should go to 2 hours because I think this is the last Monday night football game.
I request an origin story for tomorrow. We need to know the origin story of how Zach got to come on to the show. Like, we love having him. We got to know.
Oh, this is my guy, Zach. You got to come on tomorrow.
Way back. I met Kenny for the very first time when I was 13 years old, and he coached me in a team camp. Yeah.
See, we got to know this.
We need more.
It's
tomorrow.
Amazing. It's amazing. If he comes on tomorrow or Monday or next Monday because he's busy because everything that's been going on personally. But next week, let's remember to bring it up to him on Monday.
Stay tuned for the origin story.
Yeah, because it's pretty cool on how everything ended up happening, and then the last couple years how we've developed into a strong relationship. But Zach, thank you, my guy. Appreciate you, bud. Tell the family I said hi. Prayers, man.
Thank you, Zach.
I appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, bro. Okay, bro. I'll talk to you soon. My guy, Zach Brant, Capital Ford, my guy. I appreciate you, bro, and the family and all the support and prayers once again. Kaylina, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
This sucks. This hour goes so quick.
I know. I forgot.
So quick. Jonah, my other producer, appreciate you, my guy.
Thank you, Kenny. Always
you got anything else you want to share?
Go Texans.
Go Texans, baby. I'm about to get up out of here. Might even sip on some KT wine. Might sip on some whiskey. You never know. But I will be back here tomorrow. You catch me from 4 to 6. Jonah and Kaylina will be here with me tomorrow. Eric Strauss comes in at 5. Thank you for listening to Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Hour.